It's been a good work week. Guys have come back in to work this week and have done a nice job with their attitude and effort, and meetings have been good. Practice was really good, spirited yesterday, a little bit shorter practice, but it was warmer, so that had a lot to do with probably their enthusiasm. But obviously we are where we're at, and I know our head coach has talked about our record, and he's answered your questions there. I think the biggest thing for our guys is that every time we come into the building, whether it's for practice, whether it's for meetings, whether we go to the stadium or whatever stadium we're playing, and we're being evaluated, players, coaches, everybody. So it's our job is to prepare like we always do. Our job is to go out and help this football team win a game on Sunday afternoon in Washington, and that's how we've approached it, and our guys have done a great job with that so far this week.
Mike, speaking of evaluations, how do you feel like your special teams have been this year now that we're kind of nearing the end of the season?
I think this week the focus is on the Washington Commanders, and, at the end of the season, we'll go back and reflect on the entire year and what we've done. I think we've played really well lately. We had our spots early on, good and bad, but I think I'm really pleased with the direction that we're going in. I think we're only going to get better, and I'm excited about the challenge this week.
What can Cade do in the off season to get better and more consistent?
I think that's what it is. I think he's got to really focus on his focus, his approach to every kick has got to be the same over and over and over again. And as he grows and matures and continues to get stronger and better, I think that will come with more reps and more experience.
You would like him, somebody else outside of this building that you think he could work with that might help?
Like a lot of guys that come into the league, punters and kickers, he does have a coach that he's been working with since high school that does a great job with him, so he'll just continue working with him.
Whether a particular moment was good, bad, or ugly for him, how do you think the past couple of weeks affected him?
I love the way he approached last week. I love the way he and Charlie and Corey and our returners and really all the special teams approached the difficulties of the weather, like with both teams playing it, obviously. But his pregame was really good. It wasn't too big for him. I saw him grow up right before my very eyes on Saturday afternoon during pregame. I love the way he approached that game. I know he had the two opportunities, and he did a good job with both of them. And kicking here is not easy. It will never be easy. I don't care if it's in August or in December or January. So I really like the way, like I said, the way he approached it, and I was proud of the way he has approached our stadium all year long. And does he have room for improvement, room for growth? Absolutely. So does Corey, and Corey's really been punting the ball well. Charlie's been snapping the ball well. Our returners have done a nice job with the different type of conditions that we've had this year. So we just got to keep going in that direction and keep working to get better.
Expand a little bit on what you saw out of him in that pregame that impressed you so much?
Yeah, it's just his approach to it. I mean, I think he missed one where the wind, he had no idea it was into the dog pound, and who knows what the wind was doing, and he just he hit a really good ball, and it just kind of faded right or faded left. I can't remember which way it went. And he kind of looked back and smiled. He goes, I hit a good ball. I said, that's all you can do. I mean, and that's really, when Phil talked to him back after he was drafted, Phil said that into the dog pound, just got to hit a true ball. And when you approach it that way, you have more chances of making than you do missing it, because you never know what you're going to get down there and then into the stadium. But I saw him approach it that way with a great attitude, a great mindset. He didn't freak out because he missed one in pregame. He went out and just nailed the next one.
Was that something you had seen earlier in the season where, there was some, where if he did miss a kick, it would, in pregame,
he was pretty tough on himself. He's always very difficult, very, very hard on himself in terms of his technique and what he needs to do to be more consistent. But I just felt that he didn't get too worked up about it because of the conditions and because he knows some things you can't control. You just got to go out and hit the best ball you can and hope for the best, especially on a day like last Saturday.
Reasons that you're so confident that he's going to be better next year is because he has that mental makeup to 100%. Be able to put this kind of season behind him.
We knew that when we drafted him. He's got a great mental approach to the game, and that this stadium's not for everybody. This city, this division is not for everybody. That's why the 4 kickers in this division, there's really 4 really good ones. I mean, even Chris Boswell, I think, is a great kicker, missed 2 last week in Pittsburgh in the difficult conditions. So you have to be mentally tough to kick and punt in this division. And I know he's got that.
You talked about Jerome as a returner. Some of the skills you see that he's shown in that part, can you see how they would translate to him with the ball in his hands on offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think we drafted him to be a running back, and he's just done a nice job on special teams, whether it be coverage or, he's on our punt return unit as a hold-up guy. He's done a nice job there, and you guys have seen the growth he's had this year as a kickoff returner. It's funny, he had 3 returns the other day. 2 were outstanding. One was okay. The okay one was my favorite return because he came up on a short kick. He slid to his left to catch the ball square and going forward, set it, and then if we finish a block, we're out to the 35-yard line again. But he did such a great job doing everything we've been asking him to do, everything that he's really worked on in practice and watching spending extra time with me, watching tape and just the little nuances of being a good kickoff returner. I've seen him grow a lot, and whether or not he plays a lot on offense, that's obviously I don't determine that, but I would love to keep him as our kickoff returner going forward because he's really shown that he can do that at this level.
Games are probably going to be a lot of evaluation of young guys too, and maybe some guys that are trying out new roles and positions. For you, what does it look like when you're evaluating your special teams unit? What are you looking for in these last 2 games?
Pretty much what we look for all year, and we've had a lot of guys off the practice squad come up for 3 weeks. Tay Davis was up for 3 weeks, now he's back on practice squad. We had Mike Brown up for 3 weeks, practice squad. Jermaine Carter was up for 3 weeks, and then he was down, and then he's back up. So, we're asking these guys to prepare like they always prepare. And I told them early in the week, you got to, let's play for yourself, play for the name on the back of your jersey, your family, and play for each other. And I think when you approach it that way and understand we got to finish strong as a team, and I know our head coach has done a phenomenal job of team building through thick and through thin, through adversity and through good times, that when you have that foundation, you're only going to get better. So from these young guys, I expect them to prepare and play just like we've been asked them to prepare and play all year long. So I'm excited about the last 2 weeks. Anytime you get that opportunity, I'm going to be, extremely sad when it's over. But in these last 2 weeks, I'm really fired up for the opportunity that our guys have to go out and excel and continue to get better and continue to be evaluated in a positive light.
Mike, take away the guys that kick, the guys that punt, snap, return. Who has been your most reliable, consistent, prolific special teams guy this season?
I think Jordan, I can't say his last name, I always mess it up. Jordan K, number 51. He's done a great job. D'Anthony Bell's done a great job. Tony Fields in the certain roles that he's played for us has done a really nice job. Taki was doing a good job until he got hurt. You miss guys like him. And I think A.J. Green has stepped up and played well, like Jerome Ford, Dearness Johnson. We've had a lot of guys play a lot of different roles, and they never bat an eye. Like Tony Fields, I've moved him on different spots on punt team all year long, and he doesn't even blink. A lot of guys are like, I can't play on the left side or I can't play the right wing. He's played everywhere, and he's excelled at each one of those spots. So I'm really proud of the way our guys have bought in all season long, and I will expect that from them these last 2 weeks, and I've already got it from them this week. And like I said, I'm excited about the challenge on Sunday. You got something, I know you do.
I was going to ask about Jerome Ford. Somebody beat me to it.
In terms of splitting time between all the receiver reps that he gets and being able to do the punt returns.
It's amazing. He's really taken a big step forward for us. When we lost Jakeem in camp, Jerome stepped up to be our kickoff returner. Donovan has stepped up and been our consistent punt returner. I'm really proud of the way he's handled it. He's always been a pro. He's always been very mature. He's a very mature young man. And I'm really proud of the way he's accepted his role on special teams as well as being, one of our top 2 receivers. So I think he's done a great job for us this year.
Recovery, rehab, that process gone?
I can't speak on the medical part of it, but I know he's working hard, and I know he's chomping at the bit to get back. And, he says he could play this year, but, I just love his attitude and effort. He's high enthusiasm. That's why he and I get along so well.